What's up, y'all? Um, I am filming at 12:26 in the morning. Had a pretty busy day, but I wanted to jump on here and talk about the whole drama with the actor Christian Keys and talk about the predator behavior in Hollywood. Um, so grab a snack, grab you a drink. I'm about to drink some of this green tea. Give me some a second. I got this green tea from it's diet green tea. It's from Aldi. It's pretty good. But anyway, um, as a lot of y'all know, I work in the entertainment industry. I've been working in the entertainment industry for on and off for over a decade now. I started in music and then I transferred over to film. And while I don't have stories as crazy as Christian Keys, I definitely have some stories where people have tried me. And you be surprised at how people. Oh, before I continue, make sure y'all like the video. Please like the video, y'all. If y'all watching this, like the video, comment, subscribe, and share. But you'd be surprised how many of those gatekeepers and powerful people, um, some of them want to take advantage of you on a business side, knowingly giving you horrible contracts where they're eating off of all your intellectual property and hard work and then you're not getting shit. Or you got the people who want to take advantage of your body, or the people who want to do both. There's a lot of that. So, I started off with first before I go into that, Christian Keys is an actor. Let me see. I found out about Christian Keys because I saw him on like maybe like a Tyler Perry play. Let me just get some things. So Christian Keys. Oh, he's a Leo like me. Christian Keys, actor, model. What does it say? Christian Keys, he's an actor and model born in Detroit. And he's born on July 24th, 1975. And I think I had seen him firstly on something with like a Tyler Perry play or something like that. And then I had maybe seen him on like some like, black. I don't like the word low budget, but like smaller budget, films. And then I know he's done some other like stuff on like black shows and stuff like that. And Christian Keys, light skinned buff dude. I guess good looking cat. A lot of people will find him attractive. So he would always play like I'm assuming like the boyfriend, the sex symbol role or whatnot. So Christian Keys has pretty much came out and said that for years somebody powerful in the industry has been like sexually harassing him, intimidating him, propositioning him, um, being sexually aggressive towards him. And he said he's always turned it down. He's always turned it down. He just didn't feel comfortable. I'm trying to let I'm trying to get one of the videos where he's actually talking about it. Give me 1 second. I should have had this pulled up before, but this was kind of impromptu. I just kind of jumped. I came out the shower and I was like, okay.
Let me cut the TV down. Yeah, maybe be this loud. What's going on, y'all? I want to talk to you about some stuff. And it's been on my heart, so I want to speak on it. Alright. Good evening. Hope everybody's doing amazing. I've been speaking to my brother about making a declaration of my experience. What I experienced with certain powers that be. Appropriately. And I really, like, it's in my bone marrow to discuss that, because thankfully God built me the way that he built me, but I'm not sure, based on this person's claims and brags, that he's literally got, at the same time this person was sexually harassing me for years. He was claiming, that he had multiple young black men on the payroll, and they just had to show up when he requested them to be there, and appropriately.
Okay, so the video with Christian Keys is like over an hour long. So pretty much he's saying that it's a certain powerful person in Hollywood, a man, that throughout the years have been like constantly sexually harassing him, sexually intimidating him, propositioning him and all this stuff, and pretty much telling him like, look, I could take your career to the next level, just let me essentially have my way with you. You see all these other black male actors who are popping, I guess. They're on my payroll. I pay them 6 figures a year just to, I guess, to have on-call or on-demand dick or ass. And and the dudes, they're flourishing because of it. And Christian Keys said he's just been very adamant about not going that way. He said there's been instances where like this person has tried to like climb into bed with him. This person has tried to like offer him a car, money, all this kind of stuff. And he said Cassie's lawsuit kind of triggered him. And he said he's just at a point where, he's just tired of dealing with it, and like he wants to expose said person. And, it's a very detailed video. He says a lot without saying a lot, and he pretty much saying he's been recording. So he's saying for the past 15 years he's been having like secret recording devices on him, whether it be a pen, a keychain, or whatever, and he has the person on tape doing all these heinous stuff to him. And I've never worked with Christian, and y'all know I work in the entertainment industry. I've worked on several television shows, several movies. I previously was in the music industry. And I'm like one person away from Christian Keys. I've never worked with Christian Keys. I have never met him. But I know people that know him. I know people that have worked with him, and I haven't heard anything bad. Like I have like three people I know who work on his current show, All the Queen's Men. So what Christian is saying, and I don't know anything about his situation. Um, Everybody is speculating on who they think the person could be because Christian said he wants to take the person down. I have my suspicions. That's not my place to talk about. I believe in due process. If he has evidence, let him go and file those charges. But the biggest misconception when it comes to sexual harassment and all that stuff is that it only happens to women, and that's not the truth. I'm going to explain and express some of the situations I have been in because here's the thing. I know a lot of people find other people attractive. Like, even if I'm not your type, whoever's watching this, a lot of people find me attractive, right? And I get hit on, by both. I get hit on by women, I get hit on by men. And, I'm always a nice guy. I'm always like, oh, I appreciate it, but I'm good. I just, whatever the case may be, whether I be in a relationship or not. I also know when I first started in this industry, when a very important conversation, somebody sat me down and told me, they was like, you're a good looking dude and you're charismatic. The person told me, please don't allow the industry to use you up. And just because somebody might offer you an opportunity to sleep with them, whether it be a woman or a man, don't do it. Don't let nobody have nothing over your head. Like, that's the worst way to make it into this industry. And I was like, yeah, I'm not I'm not that type. They not going to even get that vibe from me. Yeah, I would never sleep my way up to the top, this, that, and the third. My first situation with this happened in the music industry. So, and if I ever get back in contact with my old producer who used to produce my music, because before I started doing film, I was pursuing a music career. I really wanted to be an R&B singer. I really wanted to be an R&B singer in a group. That's a whole other story for y'all. But my producer and I was working, and I was really focusing on songwriting at the time. So this is like, this is like a decade ago. Maybe even a little, maybe a little more than a decade. Maybe like a decade. A little more than a decade ago. Yeah. So one of my artist friends was performing at an open mic. And this open mic had like a lot of industry people there. So I went there to support my friend. So I'm dressed real fly and whatnot. And my friend had performed, and my friend comes off stage. It was a female, and she's kind of like mingling and talking to people. And then like me and her hugging, and she was mingling. So probably like 5 minutes later, she comes to me and then she's like, "Hey, this guy in the back, he works for so and so. It's a big rapper. I'm not gonna say who it is. He was asking me about you, like, yo, who is that?" And she's like, "Oh, that's my boy G. He's a dope singer. He's a dope songwriter." And he like, "Yo, tell him come holler at me. He write, like, tell him come holler." So I go over there to the dude, chop it up with him, and he's like, "Yo, I heard you write." And then I was like, "Yeah." He like, "Yo, I work with so and so, the rapper." And I like, "Oh, where?" So he's like showing me pictures of him and the rapper and them all about it. He's like, "Yeah, like, we need some writers." So he like, "You down?" And I was like, "Yeah." So he was like, "Okay." He like, "Give me your number." So gave him my number. He's like, "I'm gonna hit you up." Right? So I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I'm like feeling good about it. So I even text my producer like when I left. I'm like, bro, I just met this cat. He's so and so. He works with so and so. I was telling him about me and you, man. We might be in there, bro. So I left the open mic, um, and maybe like 10 minutes within driving home. And mind you, this is like 1 in the morning. I get a call from the dude. So I'm like, hello? He like, yo, this G? I like, yeah. He like, oh, okay. I was just making sure it's your number. And I like, okay, cool. He like, shit, why you leave so quick? And I like, oh man, I like, bro, I got work in the morning, and then I like, and plus I live like, like 30, 40 minutes away. So he like, oh, what side of town you live on? And I like, oh, I live on the south side. And he like, okay, cool. He like, shoot, you going home right now? And then I was like, yeah, like I live. He like, all right. Well, shit, I was just, you didn't even tell me bye or nothing. So I was like, well, bro, I just, was going home. So he like, I'll hit you up. So the next morning, he hit me like, hey, good morning. And I like, good morning. He like, yo, when would be a good time for us to like meet so I could hear some of your music? My producer had a whole studio. So I'm telling him like, oh well, shoot, you let me know, I could work it around my schedule. You could meet me and my producer, and we could play you all our demos we have. The records we have. You could hear some of his beats, and he like, okay, cool. But he like, yeah, but I need to vibe with you first. So we just kind of talking, and then like texting throughout the day, just regular shit like, oh, um, I think he had asked me like what kind of music I'm into. Like, just regular shit, nothing too flagrant. Then I think he had asked me, you single? And I was like, that's kind of weird. Like, I just want to work with you on some music, So I was like, yeah. So he was like, oh, okay, cool. And then he like, I think he told me, your little young ass must be he told me something to the effect of like, your little young ass might be some little freak or something like that. I thought it was weird, so I think I just put like LOL, haha, or something like that. Still, nothing too flagrant. So then he tells me like, yeah, I want to hear your music this weekend. But mind you, he's texting me like consistently, but I'm trying to just be cool with bruh because I want to get to work with this rapper he's connected to. So he then tells me like, okay, I want to hear your music this weekend. So I like, okay, cool. So I like, what time? He says 11. At the time I was working that Saturday, so I was like, oh, okay, bro. I like, man, I get off at 4 p.m. So I was like, can we meet like at like 5 or 6? And he like, oh no, I mean like 11 p.m. Like that's when you could meet me. So I like, damn, that's kind of late. But then again, he's in the music industry, so I'm just kind of like, well, I mean, niggas be having meetings late. So I was like, okay, cool. You want to meet at my producer's studio? He like, nah. Let me hold off on meeting your producer. I need to like vibe with you first, cause you my writer. I'm about to take you up under my wing. I like, okay. So I was like, where are we going to meet? He was like, you could come by my condo. And then he like, matter of fact, pack you a little bag. He's like, bring some swim trunks. Just, bring like two outfits. You could stay here a couple of days with me. And then he's like, because I'm about to, put some food on the grill, and we gonna smoke and we gonna drink and we gonna listen to your music and we gonna get to know each other. He like, you could just spend some time over here. So I'm like, I'm reading the text messages like, what the fuck? I'm like, and I was like, yeah, I like, bro. I like, oh, bro, it's cool. It don't matter what time the meeting ends. Like, I like, I don't have to stay by you. And he like, nah. Like, I want to spend some time with you because we gotta get a vibe first. You gotta stay over here. And he's like, man, I cook real good. Trust me, I'm all da 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 da. So I instantly started feeling weird about this. So I started screenshotting the messages and I send them to my producer and I send them to my this other industry friend I had, and I like, yo, I met this cat. He works with such and such, the rapper. I'm trying to meet the rapper to work with him, and he's saying they trying to sign people. But I was like, how these messages coming off to you? And my producer was like, man, that nigga ain't trying to listen to no music. That nigga trying to fuck you, bro. And I thought I was tripping because it's just like, the nigga was just like very, just putting situations like I could come over by his house. He gonna cook for me. He gonna do this. He gonna do that. And again, but because I already got that vibe for bro, I just cut communications off, and I just like, hey, bro, like, you know what? When you ready to like meet me at my boy's studio, we could link up. And then he still was like trying to like tell me like, no, he wants me to come spend some time with him first, and I was just like, nah. So that's an opportunity I didn't get. I had another producer, something kind of similar. He had, at the time I didn't have a car. So he had, we had met for a meeting, and then he had offered me a ride home. I'm very particular that I don't like people knowing where I live. So I had told him like, yeah, you could drop me in the top of the hill, right? So, and this is like at night. We had and then he's like, oh, okay, no, he like, no, I'll drop you home. He like, shoot, what happened? Like, you what your apartment dirty or something? And I was like, nah, it's just cool. I just want to take. Well, he like, no, let me drop you home. And I was just like, no, I'm good, bro. And he's like, and this was an older cat. This cat was like maybe like in his like 40s or 50s or something like that, and I'm like in my 20s. And then he's like, what's up? Like, you think I'm gonna do something to you? Like, shit, I just want to drop you home. I mean, maybe I could come in and have a quick little drink with you. He like, that's it. And I was like, bro, I'm good. And me and this nigga's arguing in his car, like, bro, I just wanted you to drop me here. And this dude got so offended. This nigga cussed me out in text messages like, oh, what you thought I was going to do something to you, and how I'm supposed to work with you and trust you. You don't even want me to know where you live. And now in the film industry, I have been on sets. And like I said, look, on movie and film sets, you work with a lot of pretty attractive people in front of the camera and behind the camera. I've had, and especially with me, like pitching stuff, just like Christian Keys, I'm pitching movies and pitching TV shows. You have to have meetings and all this kind of stuff. I remember I was telling an investor, I was like, man, like, look, man, if you rock with me, I promise you're gonna make a lot of money. Like, I really feel like this is it, like, shoot, I'm trying to get on, I just don't want to sell my soul or have to, like, use my dick or my ass, I just don't want to have to use my body. And the investor said something like, what if we don't want your soul? And I was like, what? And he's like, I mean, you could keep your soul. And I'm like, again, me being me, I'm like, you wild, man. And I'm like, yo, did this fool really just say that to me? And you have some situation where the gatekeepers and some women too, I if you've met me in person, I'm a thicker dude. So, and I guess I have some of like my body type similar to like my mom. So I do have thick thighs, hips, and like, sounds weird for a man to say, but I do got some ass on me. I've had people grab my ass. You know what I mean? And even when a woman does it, in I'm I'm always when a woman does it, I never had a man grab my ass. Let's be other than like one time in the club, and I had to like yoke homie up like, the fuck, man, and he was like, oh my bad, bro, like I was just walking by you. Like, yeah, right, you done got you a handful of ass, man. But when women do it, yeah, I don't like it, but I could constantly be like, yeah, wash your hands, sis. Like, yo, don't do that, because it's like, it's such a fine line. You know what I mean? And it happens. And what Christian Keys is saying, like, I said, and I hope I never have to have it that bad. Like, I've never been cornered in a room and all this shit. And like, when you have these powerful people who essentially get whatever they want, um, they could sometimes make it harder for you, or you become just that more tempting to them. Like, I remember, is this one particular actor, because I used to act, like a few years ago I was acting, and then I kind of fully transitioned to behind the scenes, to like writing and stuff. And I remember it was this other actor that him and I met on a set, and he was like, man, I'm just trying to get on, bro. Like, I don't care what I do. I don't care what I have to do. Like, I just want to be on. I do. And him and I haven't been spoken in a while, but I did see that he's, he hasn't done any, like, if I say his name, y'all won't know who he is. Like, he's done like very small parts in like two things. But I noticed that he did very small parts in a particular person's productions, and I said, I wonder if bruh did what he had to do. Because with me, listen, if you feel like sleeping your way to the top is what you do, hey, do you? I'm just not the person. I don't like nobody having nothing to hold over my head. And then my whole thing is, if I sleep with you to get a role, and then what if I get into a relationship and I don't want to sleep with you anymore? You could force you, like I don't even want to put myself into that position. So it happens a lot. It happens a lot. Like, man, I've had my fair share of people, being sexually suggestive to me. And to me, I just kind of like pretend like I'm oblivious, and I kind of just like dodge the shit, because I'm just like, no, I'm not doing that. Even I don't have some attractive like women and stuff like, but like, you don't shit where you eat. That's the number. Like, I'm not a fan of dating coworkers. I'm not a fan of fucking coworkers. Like, after we've finished the job, then maybe down the line, but I'm just not that person. So shout out to Christian Keys, and I think like low key what Cassie did, she's empowered a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like, I think the whole devious Harvey Weinstein, those type of people who are in power and they force themselves onto people is sick. And you just have a lot of young, naive people who are hungry, they're ready to work, and you're being told, if you don't sign this contract, we not gonna do this, or if you don't, sleep with me, it's a crazy business, y'all. It's a really crazy business, and sometimes I've sat down and just been like, yo, why couldn't I have been passionate about science or medicine or law, so I didn't have to work in this entertainment space? But I keep God first, and I'm somebody as well. I just don't want to ever have to jeopardize my morals. But anyway, heads up, if Christian Keys, if you ever see this, bro, like, keep doing you, do what you gotta do, bro, and like, much success to you, player. This your boy Geppetto. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll talk to you the next time. Peace.